Issue 4. Hobbies. One of the main reasons people have hobbies is to kill time. In the modern world, many of the great developments in science and technology have given us a lot of spare time. But few of us use our extra time creatively, so we get bored. Therefore, we need a hobby to make the time pass enjoyably. We collect stamps, or learn how to cook, or just listen to music. One of the problems, though, is having expensive hobbies. Usually, these are intended to show off our wealth, or to demonstrate that we are up to date with some supposed trend, rather than supporting any genuine interest we have in them. Too often, we can't really afford them. But even if we can, they just feed our general discontent because we spend so much money without relieving our boredom. Comprehension. 1. What are 2 reasons given for having a hobby? 2. Why are hobbies necessary in the modern world? 3. What is wrong with having expensive hobbies? Express yourself. 1. What hobbies do you have? 2. Do you have enough time to indulge them? Why or why not? 3. How much do your hobbies cost you? 4. With whom do you spend time enjoying your hobbies? 5. Do you make friends with people who have the same pursuits? 6. What are the best things you like about your hobbies? 7. Are there any hobbies you have given up? Why? 8. What hobbies would you like to try soon? 9. Did you ever recommend that family members share your entertainment with you? 10. Some say, shopping is my hobby. What do you think of that opinion? 11. What are some expensive hobbies? What are some cheap ones? Are the expensive ones better than the others? 12. What are the most addictive hobbies, do you think? 13. There are said to be 5 deadly hobbies for men: cars, audio systems, golf clubs, watches, and cameras. Why are they dangerous? Are they only for men? What are the deadly hobbies for women? 14. Have you ever seen any people who have very strange hobbies? 15. Some say, my job is my hobby, and vice versa. What do you think of this idea? Do you think these people are happy? Opinion samples. 1. My sisters say shopping is their hobby, but I disagree with them. It is an addiction. They go shopping every day, no matter what other obligations they may have. They spend hours looking at stuff, holding it, discussing it, and putting it on, even if they have no interest in buying it. But they never come home empty-handed. They always have to buy something, whether they need it or not, and once they get it home, they promptly forget about it. 2. I have 2 hobbies. One costs a lot of money, and the other one hardly costs anything. The expensive one is photography. The camera itself was very costly, but I am constantly updating it with new bags, filters, lenses, lights, tripods, and so forth. And of course, I need more than one camera. In addition, I buy a lot of photography books and magazines. I still have a darkroom, and I enjoy occasionally developing my own film. But at least that's one expense that is optional these days. My other hobby is taking long walks. All I need is a good pair of shoes, and it gives me an excuse to take a camera along. Dialogue. The joys of hunting.
I can't understand you sometimes. You constantly lecture me about needing to economize, but every chance you get, you go on a hunting trip with your buddies. That costs a lot more than anything I spend money on.
You just don't understand. We've been doing this for years. It's our one shared activity that bonds us together.
You're right. I don't understand. Part of your hunting trip involves consuming lots of alcohol, right?
Sure, of course, but not while we're actually hunting. That would be dangerous.
But you can drink closer to home. You all do anyhow.
But it's just not the same. Drinking on a hunting trip is a ceremony, celebrating our manhood. But drinking after work is just a form of relaxation. There's no comparison.
You complain if your bed is a little lumpy, but you don't mind sleeping in a tent on the hard, cold ground?
You're right. But camping out is part of the ritual, and sometimes we rent a cabin instead.
More expense for a crude, cold, uncomfortable room.
It's the fact that we are out in nature instead of being cooped up in the city that's so meaningful. It's like living the way our ancestors did, hundreds of years ago.
Most of the time, you don't even bag any game.
The enjoyment is in the process, not the product. Getting meat at the end of it is a bonus, but the hunt itself is the real purpose.
If you do get lucky, you have to do all the disgusting, bloody cleaning and skinning of the animal before you can bring the meat home. I can't even get you to wash the dishes here.
My hunting partners never nag me either. We all pitch in and do our share of the chores, and we feel very equal to each other despite the separation according to social rank once we come back home.
I'm all for equality, so I'll make you a proposition. Every time you go out on a hunting expedition, I get to take a shopping spree trip with my friends in Paris or Singapore or Rome or wherever we want to go. That way we can both enjoy our favorite hobby.
Questions. 1. Have you ever gone hunting, or taken a fishing trip, or camped out? Describe your experience. 2. Does Charles's explanation sound appealing to you? Would you like to join him sometime? Why or why not? 3. Define hobby. Can anything be a hobby? Read and discuss. Is golf a hobby or just business? Golf has become a prominent part of doing business. It provides an opportunity to spend a lot of intimate time together, to develop a personal relationship, and to discuss a deal in an informal manner. In some situations, membership in a country club is considered to be a legitimate business expense that can be written off from taxes. However, even though ambitious businessmen may take up the sport for practical reasons, they often come to love it as a sport in its own right. Playing golf is a notoriously difficult process, full of unexpected obstacles and frustrations. It requires skill, patience, and a great deal of determination. Most golfers say they are not playing against someone else, only against themselves, and they find it a challenging endeavor. It also provides an opportunity both to get some good exercise and to spend some time in the fresh air, surrounded by green grass, water, and trees. So, many executives continue to play the game even after they retire from business. Questions. 1. Do you golf? How often? If so, why? If not, would you like to? 2. What is your favorite sport? Do you play or just watch? 3. Can golf be played cheaply, or is it always an expensive hobby? Let's talk funny. Underage drinking soars. You kids drink too much, and it will lead to trouble.
We're just following the habits we learn from adults. We're not to blame.
Don't blame us. Haven't we always told you, do as we say, not as we do?
Questions. 1. Who is to blame for bad behavior, the role model or the performer? 2. Are the warnings against drinking exaggerated in your opinion? 3. Which is worse, drinking alcohol or smoking cigarettes?
Points to ponder. The following sentences are all related thematically. They express a wide difference of opinions and attitudes. You may agree with some of them and disagree with others. Please discuss what you think the sentences mean and what you think about them. 1. Finding a simple life is today's most complicated job. 2. Why not learn to enjoy the little things? There are so many of them. 3. What we enjoy, not what we have, constitutes our abundance. 4. A lot of singers on TV are worth watching. Too bad they're not worth listening to. 5. Hobbies of any kind are boring except to people who have the same hobby. 6. Beware the hobby that eats. 7. Nothing grows faster than a fish from the time he bites until he gets away. 8. I did nothing but work. I made work my hobby. I was lucky that way.